Hello, hi everyone. It's me Hitesh here. So today again, this is the fourth day of our Python class. So today we will start with the Python data types. Okay, we will see what is meant by Python data type and what are the different data types we have available. Okay, and how we can implement that all the data types in practical way. Okay, this we're going to see it. Now the question comes in your mind that what is meant by data type, right? Might be getting this question, what is meant by data type. Now suppose you can say a data type is in programming language mostly is basic a classification which specify which type of value, okay, which type of value is assigned to that particular variable, or what type of mathematical, relational or logical operations can be applied to it, okay, without causing any kind of an error. So that is called as an data type. As you can say here in example that our number 24, this 24 integer is assigned to number variable. Okay, so it means that what, my 24 is an data type, right, integer data type, which is assigned to number 44, num variable. Now we have a various data type here, like in Python we have a string, then we have a list, we have dictionaries, set, then tuples, integers, and many data types we have. So we will look all the data types in detail with a practically. So first I'll start with a string. Okay, first I'll start with a string. A string, you can say a Python string is a kind of a sequence of characters, okay, and they are mostly immutable. Python strings cannot be changed, okay, it cannot change. It is immutable property, having the immutability property. Okay, so strings in Python always support the Unicode characters, and the default encoding for the Python source code is UTF-8. So we can also say that the string is a sequence of Unicode characters. It can be represented in single quote and also it can be represented in double quote. Next data type we have called as a number. Okay, we have basically numbers you already know, right? But in Python we have three types of number. One is called as an integers, second one is called as a floating point number, and third one is called as a complex number. Okay, we're going to see this all the things practically just by within 5 minutes. Next we have called as a list. Now list, actually what happens, you might be heard about the term called, it's a simple term. It means that suppose you want to store some kind of an element, and that element should be in some sequential order. So for that particular purpose you can use a list. So it's a sequence of collection of objects in a order way, okay, and mostly lists or whatever things we are collecting inside the list, they are all just going to store in a linear fashion, okay, in a contiguous memory location. As you can see here in figure, I've created one type of list, my list, and I've stored so many values in that. Next we have called as a tuples. Tuples, actually it's basically a collection of objects which is in order as well as it is an immutable. Now you might be thinking that list also having the same property as well as tuple also having the same property. So what is the difference between the list and tuple? Okay, you can see the first difference is that the syntax of the tuple is shown by the parenthesis, you can see, whereas syntax of the list is shown by brackets, that you can see here. Now list has some variable length and tuple having the fixed length, means the length of the list can be changeable, but the length of the tuple, it is fixed. List is a mutable nature, we can change the list, but tuple is the immutable nature, we cannot change the tuple. Okay, we can add so many things in the list, we can append the things, we can insert the at specified position, but in tuple it is not possible because it has been the immutability property. And list has more functionality more than tuples. Tuples is kind of an heterogeneous part while lists are the homogeneous part. So these are some difference between the list and tuple. Next data type we have called as in sets. Now in set, it is an unordered collection of items. Okay, here the particular items is not in order way. Okay, and every element in a set is a unique Okay, there is no duplicate should be there and must be immutable. Okay, and because of its immutability property. However, if you say the cell itself is a mutable nature, we can add or remove the items from it. But if you say other operations which is performed by the list, it cannot perform by the other this set data type. Okay, so it's also kind of a data structure in Python programming, which includes an unordered collection of items without any kind of duplicates. And such are actually, you can say, unindexed, because that means we cannot access the items, such items, by referencing to an index, because we doesn't know where that particular item or element will going to store in the set, right? Next, actually if you see next particular data type, which is called as a dictionaries. Okay, now dictionaries used to store some kind of a collection of data values in such a way that it allows them to individually referenced. Okay, and it always uses the index to identify the data value, and each item in a dictionary always going to store as a key value pair. Okay, we always have a key, as well as we are corresponding to that we have a value in our dictionaries. And the simplest method to create a dictionary is to simply assign the pair of key values to some variable. Okay, so this is a particular dictionary data type. So now we will see each particular data type in Jupyter Notebook, how we can operate it. So these are some particular data types we have been available in Python, where mostly, and this data types only is widely used in most of the industries to work with it. Okay, and other than this particular operations, many other functionalities has been there which is performed by this all the data types. Next, if you see, mostly the numbers, list, tuples, sets, dictionaries, these all data types, this particular all data types having the different functionalities in their own areas. Okay, and it also represents some kind of a functional programming, if you say. Now let's open our particular file, Python file. Let's name them as a data type. Let's name this as a data type. Now first data type is a what? Can anyone remember what is our first data type? You can comment in chat box. That is our definitely a string, guys, right? So first let's see our string. I'm getting one variable and name that variable as a my string. Okay, variable where you assign some kind of a values. Okay, means suppose you have assigned some kind of a, in my string I have assigned one particular value called as a hello Python. It means that my this particular Python, hello Python, is stored in my string variable. Okay, it is stored in some kind of a memory, taking some kind of a memory, and I am naming that memory as a my string. Okay, for the user purpose, using relay purpose. Now hello Python I have written, I want to print it, so you can use the print function, my string. Okay, and run it. You can say hello Python here. If you want to write in a single quote, you can write in single quote also. Okay, you can change simply what, change the variable and write in single quote, hello Python world. Okay, and print this particular Python string. Can you see hello Python world? So this is called as a string. Now the next data type, which is called as a, guys, you can tell me what is our next data type? That is called as a numbers. Okay, that is called as a numbers. Okay, so in numbers we mostly have how many types of numbers? Can anyone tell me? If we want to assign the number, how many types of number we have been there? Basically 3 types of number, right? First is called as a, anyone? That is a integer data type. Now suppose I want to store some number, some integer, so I am using 25. 25 is my integer. Now print num. You can see here my 25 has been get printed. Okay, you can store as much number as you want. Next we have call as a floating point number, right? Floating point. Now suppose floating point number I'm taking. Now in this floating point number I'm storing as 25.365, like in this way. Okay, which having the decimal, and print this particular floating point number. You can see this particular output now, that is 25.365. And at last we have a one number called as a complex number, right? Next number we have called as a complex number. Now this particular complex number, okay, suppose I'm assigning 3 plus 4ij, okay, or 3 plus 4j. You already know that is what is meant by complex number, right guys? Now print number, complex number, whatever I have printed, whatever things variable I have created, I have to print it always in order to see the output. Now okay, complex number. Now run this. Can you see 3 plus 4j? So this is my complex number. Now next data type which I have called as a list, right? Next data type I have called as a list, right? Now what is mean by list? Just now I have told you, right? Now in list, suppose I'm creating one list called as an list, list 1, and I'm specifying something like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, some numbers I have assigned. Okay, if I want I can assign letters also. You can see H, I can assign letters. This is string in single quote, in double quote, right? Like in this way. Now next I want to print this list. Simply you have to write print list 1. If you want to print anything, just simply write print function and list 1. You can see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 H. So this is called as a list. Now the list can perform several operations. Okay, many other functionalities has been there in the list. You can access the value in the list, then you can perform the built-in operations, and many other methods you can perform. Next you have a next data type which is called as an sets or maybe tuples, right? Now I am to perform tuples. Now if you'll see, I'll create a one particular name as a tuple 1. Put tuple 1 variable I am creating and store as 10 20 30. You can store, if you want, you can store different types of values also, like in our list, and you can store like in this way, you can store like in this way. Okay, and you can print the tuple. Can you see? You can print the tuple. Now print it, run this. You can see this is my tuple, right? Now just as I said to you, I can do the modification in the list. Okay, I want to append the some kind of function. Suppose list append function I'm using, means I want to append 100 at my last. Okay, now print list again. Okay, now you will see here as an output 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is our original list, and at last, that is by using append method, which is going to insert my this particular value at the end. This 100 you can see here. So this can be done in list. But if I'll try to perform in tuple, okay, tuple 1 dot append now 100. Now print this tuple, okay, and now see the result here. What you're going to get? What you have got? This particular error, right? Tuple object has no attribute append method, right? We can't append the value in the tuple. Okay, we can't insert the value in the tuple because it is an immutable nature. Next we have call as an next after tuple, what do we have? If you remember, right? Sets, right? After this we have a sets. Am I right? Now suppose in sets I have created days, and by using set function I can create a days. Now suppose, or just let's use simple Monday. Okay, Monday, then Tuesday, right? Then Wednesday, then Thursday. You can write like in this way, okay, and then so on. Let's print the days. You can see when I'll print it. Can you see here? Just as I have told you, sets is an unordered collection. You can see I have printed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I have written, but what output I am getting? Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. Every time if I'll run this, I'm going to get this output only because it is an unordered collection. Can you see? Right? So this is called as an set, which is having the unordered collection. Next particular data type which I have called as a dictionaries. Right? The next data type I have called as a dictionary. Let's create a one dictionary which having the suppose dictionary 1 I am creating, and this dictionary 1 having the value 1 as a key and having the value 1 is key and 1 is value, right? I name this particular as an, you can say, orange. Next you have 2 and you can name as a apple. You have 3, you can name as a mango, right? This is my favorite fruit. Now next 4 and pineapple, right guys? So this is my dictionary. Now if I'll print this dictionary, you can see here I'll get my output as 1 orange, 2 apple, 3 mango, 4 pineapple. You can see key, this is value, this is my key, this is my value, right? If you want, you can change the things also, you can reverse the things like in this way. Dictionary 2, and if I'm writing orange first and I'm writing 1 first, you can see here if I'll print it D2, you can see the output. This will become key and this will become as a value. So this is called as a dictionary, right? So these are the data types which we have in particular Python. Got it guys? So if you wanted to learn more in deep what are the things so we can perform and what are the built-in methods are there, how we can create a mini project with the help of this particular data types, and how we can perform several other, how we can solve the problems on the basis of this all the types and what are the things. If you want to go more deep and dive, you can connect with the Coachx.Live. Okay. So for today, this is the 4th day of our session, Python session for the data science. So yeah, so bye bye everyone. Thank you very much.